Well, good afternoon, everyone. We are live this afternoon here in the Weather Center, giving us an update on the storms that are possible this afternoon. Let's go ahead and show you outside. So these look some storms. You can see these are quite tall systems across Miles River, Asheville, Hendersonville, Flat Rock area. You can see that the storms are pretty. They have actually some stronger to severe parts to them here at the very, very top. That's a look right now at our storms in 3D. We got a little small storm over Traveler's Rest. That storm not looking too major, but some of those storms, there's lots of lightning reports clicking into those right now. Um, just ton of lightning alerts across the upstate. You can see 9.5 miles north. That is towards Travelers Rest area, and that's able to view that in 3D, which is quite an interesting thing to be able to do on News Center 2. So, like I said, we will be tracking these storms out when they do arrive later this afternoon. We can see for here at home, so far, so good. We do have lots of storms across the Atlanta metro area down towards Calhoun, LJ, putting that in 3D, showing us turning off the lightning to give us a better view. You can see that strong to severe masses storms there just piling into the parts of Georgia, and that's gonna be, will it make its way towards us? We'll have to show you that coming up in just a few minutes. Until then, let's go ahead and take you outside to a look at our Skycam network. There we go. Alrighty, time saver traffic right now across the upstate. You can see slow traffic on I-85 south, mile marker 57, on the screen with us. Definitely something to watch out for later on. Now we're going to show you what we're kind of looking at across the upstate. This is going to show us, we're actually going to have to turn off a lot of things to show us what we're looking at. Alright, let's go ahead and take you out back to our radar, and this will help us. Then we'll get back to time saver traffic. Why is it wanting to know? Okay, alrighty, sorry. Having a little system freeze there. Alrighty. Back into weather we go. So you can see across the upstate, right? We're mostly quiet for this afternoon. Oh, having some more system issues. Like I said, we're 95 across the upstate. Pretty much everywhere we go. 93 in Greenville, Lawrence sitting at 94, and then 70s across western North Carolina. That's pretty nice. Turning off onto that and going into our radar, composite radar, you can see we got lots of strong storms. You're able to see that's Slater, Marietta area, and that's interesting to see as those pan out. So you pressing play there, the storms keep on moving towards northern Greenville County, right? We're gonna kind of get you back into our map. So this is sitting, it's rewinding. This was about earlier, and then from now, what you can see, we got tons of those storms pretty much right now. Very active patterns across the Georgia, Dahlonega, Georgia, Tacoma, Georgia. You can see the storms rocking and rolling across there. But I will say, at home, we're pretty much somewhat dry across the upstate, right? Seeing about, let's see, this would be, so sorry, we got some system issues going on. About 5:30, so this is sitting roughly right about now. So about 5:30, this is just in 4 minutes from now. You can see there's actually stronger rain towards Simpsonville, Fountain Inn, in Lawrence area. That storms, oh, very sorry there, trying to, just want me a little issue this morning. So Fountain Inn, Simpsonville, all those areas seeing a little more lighter rain as it moves into this afternoon and evening. You can see we got stronger systems up towards Travelers Rest. I would say about 6 o'clock, 6:30 is when we see a lot more stronger storms start to immerse from there, near Abbeville, Greenwood, all those areas. You can see that stronger masses. You can see it's kind of a big blob, right? That's going to be a lot more heavier. You can see, if we're clicking into that area, you can see on the screen, it's going to tell us, yeah, we're going to sit mainly 93 degrees, feeling at 100. It's mainly across the area. So when we come back, or let's go ahead and take you back out to that look at traffic. I wish I could say we were better. We're still slow. Um, Unfortunately, now let's go ahead and dive you back into our weather. Okay, sorry there, changing models on us. Alrighty, so this is sitting about right now. Yes, you can see there's mainly lighter rain towards Seneca. That area is near Seneca. I wish we could turn off satellite to just kind of give you a better image. So near downtown Seneca, sitting about right now, you can see a little bit of lighter rain. I don't think. Okay, yes, we can. We're gonna kind of show you. So this area right here, pinpointing that is where our rain and stuff is looking like right now. So that's another area, Seneca, Clayton, Georgia. This is another system. So there's several systems across the region. Okay, we're not going to track out this near Dahlonega, Georgia just yet, but I will say that across the area, Greenwood, Troy, those areas, seeing this potentially stronger masses too. Um, oh, I think we just. Okay, so this is kind of some looks at what we can see thanks to this radar. Can I get that off the screen? Thank you. Alrighty, so pinpointing out, so each little cell, so if we actually click into a cell, it will show us, well, for some reason it's not working. It should show us kind of what the whereabouts are, and it's not really working this afternoon. Okay, alrighty, so fortunately that's not really working, but you can see just each area has some strong to severe storms across whatever area you're watching from, and that's why we need you guys to tell us where you're watching from. Our temperature maps across the upstate feeling pretty low-key pretty nice across the upstate. 78 in Greenville, 79 in Malden, Fountain Inn, also 79. So wherever we go across the upstate, we're feeling that temperatures feeling mid 80s across the upstate, 90s. Or sorry, I'm so sorry. Wrong, 70s, that's not right, across the upstate. Alrighty, like I said, satellite radar just showing a lot of cloud cover across our upper areas. So our mapping, this is our severe weather mapping for this afternoon. So you can see we do, yes, have a little bit more of an elevated risk for that severe weather. I'm actually gonna, oh, if I don't click, alrighty, so we're gonna kind of show you. Perfect. Alrighty. So you can, if I turn that off, so you can see the Greenville metro area is highlighted in this, and that's what we're going to keep a watch out for each area as we go this afternoon, because that potential for the severe weather is possible, and it could make a definite better impact. So we're watching a crash right now. We're going to take you straight in that cut in right there. We go, perfect. Cut in just into our news programming, showing you this is what we have, some traffic, a little congestion out there. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but our team will keep you up to date with that as you keep on going. So it just appears that area might actually have some rain on it. Yeah, there's maybe a little rain down towards that area, but that traffic alert is there. We do know there is a crash, and they just moved the camera. Thank you. Well, Thanks. Whoever is running the cameras, I wish I knew, because they are not running it the right way. There we go. Alrighty, can we leave it on that? Okay. Sorry, I do not run the cameras, unfortunately. Can we dial it back on the crash? Okay, well, alrighty, so like I said, I-85 South, mile marker 57 is where we're watching right now. It's causing a little bit of a delay, a little bit of a backup. But not to fear, because we're going to be keeping you up to date with that. Now, we're going to take you into our more dedicated forecasting here in just a few minutes. Did you know you can actually watch programming shows here on WFIN News 2? Sometimes we have to break into programming to keep you up to date with what's going on outside, or outside of our community, but we do break into programming. Sometimes we have to bring you news, but you can watch a lot of old television shows like the Beverly Hillbillies on News Center 2, and we're kind of excited for that, to continue to keep us up to date with that. Alrighty, so continuing our watch at as rain we have this afternoon. This is about 5 o'clock, right? 5:30. This is, like I said, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. You can see that rain, we do have that potential for rain to be moving in kind of in bands across the upstate. That's just a certain model. Not saying that's when it could happen. That's what time our models are kind of pointing for. Now, I do want to show us, we are watching our hurricane tracker on News Center 2. That's something we kind of keep you up to date with. And we're actually scrolling to where it says 2. And you can see those winds are making a shift on your screen. You can see they're kind of rotating, inter-rotating, and we're clicking on that system. You can see it is potentially expected to make landfall over Texas, so potential Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Louisiana. Just brace yourself for that, okay? So they're expecting by the time it hits Louisiana at about 60-mile-an-hour winds. Is that really bad for a hurricane? That's actually pretty good. But then 57 miles an hour, we kind of break down. We get all the way to 46 miles an hour by Friday at 2 o'clock. That's when they're expecting. You can see the bands are kind of making its way towards the Texas area. Now, will the Carolinas see any of this? Now, I'm expecting yes. So this is Monday, okay? So Monday you can see there's a lot more severe weather down towards this is tomorrow, so you can down towards the Gulf, right there near the Florida Panhandle. You can see that's where we're seeing a lot of that more rain. Now in the Carolinas, I'm seeing us pretty dry, just our normal localized rain and stuff. Well, we kind of shift into Tuesday. You can see the models are kind of pushing it out more. Wednesday is when I'm clocking what, right? We might have a little more severe weather on Wednesday. Is it because of this system? No, not exactly. Now Thursday, of course, we see more bands coming from the northeast. That could potentially send us some severe weather on Thursday. We're going to be watching that. You can see scattered to severe thunderstorms possible is what we're watching out there. That's not exactly what we're watching. We're watching for when this thing makes landfall, will it send us any bands? Now, would I say that these bands that most of us are seeing is because of that? No, not exactly, and we're not up or rolling that out. Now, our cloud cover is pretty much, this is our cloud cover sitting about today. You can see we're a little more cloudy. Of course, we know that, yeah, we've got that severe thunderstorms possible. We got 45 layers we're able to show you. So, our wind gusts this afternoon, little to none, right across the area. So our temperatures, like we showed you earlier, were 88 in Greenville, 97 in Columbia. Just extreme temperatures outside. So like I said, we're looking pretty nice. We don't have any weather warnings. Now I know towards parts of North Carolina, in parts of our area, we have that winter or weather warnings. You can see we have potentially moderate. That's today, or that's all time. Now it's mainly for today for that severe weather. But we do have different radars showing different things. Now this is just another weather service. But we're gonna go ahead and cut you back into our traffic. There we go. So cutting back into that traffic for you. Still continue to watch that. Am I expecting it to get any worse? No, not exactly. I think we're going to get better with that traffic outside. Satellite radar, like we said, just mainly dry, okay? Like I said, mainly dry across the upstate. We're gonna potentially receive more showers, and you saw across parts of Georgia, we had a lot more heavier to severe storms. That is, yeah, for sure possible. But like I said, in the Carolinas, we're just going to be watching our radar, composite radar. You can see, we're just going to cut you back into weather. Alrighty, cut you back in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Alright, it's nice to be able to cut in. Alrighty, so like we said, our composite radar, this is live. So like we said, we have a little bit more showers and storms towards parts of western North Carolina. You can see Sapphire, Oakland, at the foothills, kind of near near South Carolina and North Carolina where they meet. Kind of sort of a little bit more heavier downpours there. And like we said, over the next several hours, we're going to see that this special weather statement, is actually just, I don't know if it just came in, but it's showing us that right now. It's supposed to show us. Alrighty, so our model outlook. So what are we watching for our model? So this is through tonight. Is it through tonight? Yes, the 19th. Okay. So that's showing that, yeah, we could see some severe thunderstorms. Our outlooks are looking for thunderstorms 10%. Like I said, of thunderstorms, that is on the screen. Now, let's say we were to see dry thunderstorms, not even really a thing, but mainly across the upstate, just categorical. Yeah, like I said, slight risk for severe weather. That's today, so just to keep you up to heads up on that.